There are millions of people throughout the world who will die prematurely. The victims of devastating infectious diseases most of us will never experience. These people need help.
The mission of this organization is ultimately to save lives and to prevent suffering.
This is Seattle BioMed, a world leader in the global struggle to end infectious disease. Using the power of genetics and cutting-edge science to create new drugs, vaccines, and diagnostics, Seattle BioMed strives every day to help victims of the world's deadliest pathogens.
Drug companies have to make a profit. For this reason, it's organizations like Seattle BioMed, the not-for-profit sector, that needs to be in the front line of developing solutions for global infectious diseases.
One of Seattle BioMed's prime targets is malaria, a disease that kills 1 million African children every year.
In Africa, adults that live in malarious areas get constantly exposed to the parasite and over time develop what is called natural immunity. Children and people that do not have this natural immunity develop a much more severe form of the disease, which can cause severe anemia and death.
The malaria parasite is transmitted to people through the bite of a mosquito. Once in the body, it reconfigures itself into a form that can invade red blood cells.
The malaria parasite infects the red cell. It starts growing. And then it bursts out of the red blood cell and destroys it. You become anemic. You don't have enough red blood cells and you don't have enough oxygen anymore. So you basically suffocate.
Finding a way to stop this deadly parasite has been elusive until recently.
We have the tools now to understand in detail how these organisms function.
Seattle BioMed researchers have been dissecting mosquitoes to study the genome of the parasite they carry. They recently discovered 2 genes that seem to be crucial for enabling the malaria parasite to enter human blood cells. In a vaccine trial, they removed the genes and tested the now weakened organism on mice. And the vaccine worked. In 2010, the vaccine will go into human safety trials. Another step in Seattle BioMed's quest to lift the burden of malaria for millions across the globe. Malaria is not the only infectious killer that takes lives in horrific numbers. There are literally billions currently infected with HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis. And here too, Seattle BioMed is forging new pathways in an effort to defeat these scourges.
We are on a track to develop vaccines that will prevent people from getting HIV/AIDS. In addition, to develop drugs that will be able to cure them from TB.
Working on such lethal organisms is meticulous work, where progress is initially measured in knowledge gained rather than lives saved. But Seattle BioMed is committed to doing whatever it takes to achieve success.
I started Seattle BioMed because there was basically nobody working on global infectious disease. Now there is a huge, increasingly recognized need to develop solutions to these major problems. So it's people like myself and my colleagues who need to work together to develop the drugs to save people from these truly horrific diseases.
Seattle BioMed, working for healthier lives and a brighter future for everyone.